Hey everybody, it's Karen with Food and Family. It's breakfast time and I'm hungry for some sausage gravy and biscuits. And I'm going to show you how I make mine. In my pan here, I have some sausage. This I had previously cooked, put it in my freezer, in a little freezer bag. So when I'm ready for it, it's ready for me. But I'm going to show you what I use. Now, I love Swaggerty sausage. And I get this box, it's got 18 patties. Or you can get it in a chub roll like this. And you can get hot, you can get mild, but it is so delicious. So that's what I'm using today, except it was just pre-cooked. And it just makes it quicker in the mornings for you. Okay, so I'm going to make some biscuits to go with it. We're not going to do canned biscuits. We are going to do homemade biscuits. I'm just going to do a little small amount. It's just me this morning. Pop Jones is at work, but there'll be leftovers and he might want some when he gets home. Or, you know, I put it in the refrigerator and heat it up tomorrow. So I'm just going to do 1 cup of white lily self-rising flour. I want a pinch of salt, just a little pinch. I know it has some in it, but I like to put that little extra. Now to that 1 cup, I'm going to put a couple of tablespoons of solid shortening. I love Crisco. Use whatever you want. And we're going to cut this in with the blending fork. And you've seen me use this, and you can get it in my Amazon store. And okay, so let's stir this sausage a little bit. You hear it popping? Let's turn it down. I just wanted to get it good and hot, render out all that fat, because we're going to make gravy with it. Okay, so I have a cup of buttermilk, and now I'm not sure I'm going to use this whole cup. I'm just going to pour out a little bit at a time, because we're going to roll these biscuits out. When I say roll them out, I'm going to roll them out on my board here, and I'm going to cut them out with my biscuit cutter. So we want them a little stiff. You don't want it too wet. Oh, and that's coming along beautifully. And that's about 1/3 cup of buttermilk. Now, if you don't have buttermilk, let me tell you what you can do. And a lot of you may know this. Some of you may not. You've got whole milk. Pour you some whole milk in your cup and put you a splash, just a splash of vinegar, white vinegar, and let it sit there and it'll clabber a little bit. And that's cooking buttermilk. And I put that last drop of buttermilk with a couple of drops too much. So I'm going to put about another tablespoon of flour. Nothing hurting it. That's how we learn, right? Now, you see this consistency that I went for? That's what I wanted. Okay, so let's move that out of the way. Now, I want some flour for my board here. I hope you can see. And I'm just going to flour that. Drop this flour. I'm sorry, this biscuit mix. Okay, so back to our biscuits. And I'm going to put a little more flour on it. We're going to fold it back and forth. We're going to knead it a little bit. Not too much. We do not want tough biscuits. And you know what I didn't get out? Was a pan to put these biscuits on. A little small pan. And while we're at it, we're going to put a little shortening on it. We don't want them sticking, do we? Just get a little bit on your fingers. If you don't want to get it on your fingers, use a napkin or a zippy bag or some plastic gloves. Now, get that up there. Okay, back to our biscuits. And we're just gonna knead it around a couple of times. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm not even getting out a rolling pin. I'm going to flatten that out just like that. And with my cutter, can you see me? Go straight down. Zhuzh it a little bit, but do not twist. If you twist, that biscuit is gonna it's gonna seal on those edges and it's not gonna rise. Again, and I just zhuzh it back and forth. That's technical, zhuzhing. Try it. Roll up the scraps, flatten it back out. Now listen, I have a video out that we put out several months ago where Parker, Stephanie, her mom, and myself made biscuits, and it's called Biscuits, Biscuits, Biscuits. And there's 3 kinds of biscuits. So if y'all go out, look for it, watch it and tell me what you think. See this little bitty scrap that's left? Let's just roll it up in our hand. I remember as a child growing up watching my grandmother make biscuits, and she could roll them out in her hands so pretty. I wish I could do them as pretty as she did. So let's scoot that around just a little bit and put that right there. How about that? Now I want to add some of this buttermilk right on top. And I'm just going to use my hands. I'm going to wash my hands in just a minute and get all this goop off of them. I wash my hands before I start. You don't get to see me do that. Okay, so give me just a second. Now that's going to help these biscuits get golden on top. Now, if you want, you can use heavy cream, you can use milk, you can use butter. Butter would be wonderful. And in fact, I think what we're going to do is when we take these out of the oven, I think we're going to put a little melted butter on top of them. So let's get them in the oven. I've got my oven heated to 450 today. And I'm going to put them in here, and I'm going to set my timer for like 15 minutes. Then we'll come back to it. Okay, so let's get back to our gravy. Now I want a little more fat than what's in this pan, and that's okay. Just add you some fat to it, because we're going to make gravy with the sausage in the pan. We're not taking it out of the pan. Let me move that out of the way. I think you can see down in there, can't you? Yeah. Okay, so, but remember the ratio fat to flour equal. 2 tablespoons of fat, 2 tablespoons of flour. Your liquid, you'll have to guess on that. It's an eyeball thing, and it's according to how thick or thin you want it. Now I'm going to start, that's just a tad over a tablespoon of flour. We're going to stir it around, and it's going to get pasty, and that's what you want. You want it to be pasty. Now, it needs a little more flour. It's not pasty enough. And it's going to brown. Well, according to how brown you want it. We're making milk gravy. And when I say milk gravy, I'm making it with milk. I'm not making it with water or broth. I want to add some flour. I added flour, salt, and some black pepper. Black pepper makes the gravy so delicious. Now stir it up again. Now it's getting pasty. It's getting about like I want it. And if you want it a little thicker, you make it a little thicker. But let it sit here and cook for a minute, because you want to get that raw flour taste out of it. I'm going to add just a tad more flour. So it's an eyeball thing. Unless you're measuring exactly, and I'm not. Not this morning, not with this. Altogether, I probably put 2.5 tablespoons of flour. And we're going to get that cooking. Now, Julie D, I thank you for these whisks. I'm using this gravy whisk now, and I want to stir this around. Julie got me these set of whisks so I wouldn't scratch up my pans. She heard me say I needed some, and before I could go buy them, she had them for me. Where's our milk? Okay, so we've got regular milk, and when this cooks another minute or so, I'm just going to pour. I'm not measuring today, you guys. If you could smell this sausage in here with this gravy going, oh my. And you know, you could add a little bit of butter, add a little pat of butter in here. What do you say we add a little pat of butter? I think that would be so good. Just a little bit. That's not a teaspoon. It's not going to hurt anything at all. Except the taste. Toast it. Okay, I'm going to put my milk in now. That flour and butter and oil and sausage is bubbling away. Now, I'm just going to eyeball. Ooh. Oh, and this is going to be some sausagey gravy. But that's what I like. If I'm going to eat sausage gravy, I want to know I've got sausage in it. Now, if you want to do this with bacon, you can. Use smoked sausage, you can. Get you some Conecuh sausage. Cook it up, take it out of the pan, or you can leave it in there and do just what I did. And I'm going to let that sit there and simmer real slow while our biscuits bake. And when they come out of the oven, I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you how I eat this biscuit and gravy. Stay with me. Our biscuits just came out of the oven. Now, I want you to see how pretty that biscuit is right there. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, as I promised, I'm going to brush these biscuits with some melted butter. I got my gravy to the consistency I wanted. I did add a little bit more milk because I wanted it a little bit thinner than it was. But you add as much as you want. Just add it to the consistency that you like. There's no exact measurements to making gravy. And I don't know of anyone that can give you an exact measurement. All right, let's try this. We need a spoon to dip our gravy with, don't we? Oh boy. So let's get us a nice biscuit here. That looks like a pretty one, doesn't it? We're going to break it open. Ooh, you can see how nice. See how fluffy that is on the inside? Can you see that? We're going to have two. Oh my goodness. Now, we are going to put our sausage gravy right over the top of these biscuits. Looky here. That will top any restaurant biscuit and gravy. What do you say we give it a try? Oh, and it's so soft that my fork just went through that biscuit. It's hot. Oh my goodness, y'all. You have got to try this. You have got to make it. The whole family is going to love this. If you want to learn how to make some good Southern sausage gravy, follow my directions. It's hard to give you a recipe, but if you follow my directions, you're going to have some good gravy. I appreciate each and every one of you. I thank you for joining me today, and I hope you come back soon. Please leave me a comment, like, share my channel, share this video, and hit the notification bell so you'll know when I post my next video. Thanks, everybody.